How's it going, guys? So we're out here in Ventura this weekend, or this week. I have with me Brian Ortiz. He just won the League Cup out in LA at the bullpen. And what deck were you playing?
I was playing Mr. Krabs, Crabominable.
He was playing Crabs, ladies and gentlemen. A very underrated and very rogue deck. Not many people were playing this deck, and not a lot of people know about it. But we have the honor to see the deck profile today and see what he was running this weekend. So with that said, guys, let's get into the deck profile and check out what he was playing.
Alright, starting off the list is the full 4 Crabrawler from Burning Shadows. It has 80 HP, which is a lot for a basic. Makes the devolution strategy that a lot of decks are running nowadays a little less effective against Crabominable. There's a Crabrawler from Sun and Moon that has nearly identical stats, but his attack has higher base damage, so this is the one that we run.
Okay.
And to go along with the 4 Crabrawler are the Crabominable, 140 HP, stage 1 attacker with Gutsy Hammer, very lean, high damage dealing attack, 1 fighting energy, does 80, it's quite a lot. It has an unfortunate side effect, it hits itself for the number of damage counters already on it, so it effectively doubles the damage that's already on it. But we get around that in various ways. The big appeal here is this 80 damage that we can buff with all kinds of damage modifiers. We have Regirock EX, which buffs the damage by 10. We have Choice Band, another 30. And then we play Strong Energy also, which powers up the attack, another 20 damage, so it's pretty good. Occasionally, you'll use this second attack, Double Stomp, for 3 fighting energy. Because this attack is so lean, the first one, you'll sometimes get free attachments where you can build up a Double Stomp, especially if they fail to KO your Crabominable. So you can definitely power this up sometimes, and I did use this attack a lot during the tournament. It was pretty cool.
Cool.
And then here are the 2 Regirock EX that I spoke about. Play 2. Bench space is kind of a problem in the deck. You need to be having those basics down so that you can get them ready to evolve next turn. 2 is just fine. Usually allows for 2-hit knockouts on most things. Sometimes you don't want to set them down. There are a lot of grass Pokemon in the standard meta right now, and they can hit this for weakness. I didn't set him down at all, for instance, in my finals match against Golisopod. So he's a good guy. We run 2 of them. We also run this guy, Sudowoodo from Breakpoint. A lot of people mistake this one from the one that I think comes from Guardians Rising.
Yeah.
This one is not that one. It's the one from Breakpoint, has the move Watch and Learn, which is basically like Mimikyu. I know Metagross runs Mimikyu. This is the exact same attack, except it can copy GX attacks too, so that's pretty awesome. The 2 energy requirement, it's kind of a bummer. But because you have such a lean attacker with Crabominable, you can easily power this up sometimes. You just try not to whiff energy attachments per turn. This is fine. A lot of people really underestimate what this card can do, so they won't bother going after it. They'll just go after the Crabominable and kill this, or not kill this. So, he can do a lot of damage. Copy Phoenix Burn, copy Infinite Force, a lot of stuff. So plus, he gets buffed up by all the same stuff that we talked about earlier.
So pretty much it's kind of like a hit recoil, so after they knock out something of yours, you come up with the Sudowoodo and finish them for
absolutely. I mean, this thing allows you to take 1-hit knockouts, and Crabominable usually doesn't allow you to do that. So this allows you to really regain momentum after they knock you out. Okay, so he's really good.
Perfect.
And a controversial card in the list. I get a lot of questions about this. Why is he in here? Hoopa is really important. I think he was extremely important in my matches against Garbodor. Garbodor has 120 HP. It's not a number that we can hit very easily with Crabominable, so we need to tag them with Hyperspace Punch, which is 20 to anything. He also has 130 HP, which is pretty relevant. In my finals match against Golisopod Garbodor, this guy was huge. I was able to put all kinds of damage on the board and clean up with Crabominable. He was amazing.
Perfect.
And then we do run 1 Oranguru. I will never play a deck without him ever again. I I just instruct for so many good cards a lot of the time for that Guzma, for that energy, for that supporter. He's just super good, and I'll never run a deck without him.
It's also good for late game, like if you get end to like 1, it kind of lets you regain ground with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, you'll need to anticipate when you're going to head and Ultra Ball this guy out, put him on the bench, because you're going to get end. And this guy will save you. And then we do run 2 Tapu Lele. And this is, kind of a lower count than I would like. I would like to have 3, because he's just so good to have. But does fine. Occasionally you will energy drive also to attach basic energy onto this guy, and sometimes energy drive. But yeah, really important. Moving on to tools, got the full 4 choice bands. This is what allows our Gutsy Hammer to reach really high numbers. You run 4 because Field Blower is a thing in Standard, and we need to get this onto the Crab as soon as possible and hit. We also run 2 Floatstone. This is really, really important, I think, because you don't want to kill yourself with Gutsy Hammer. Gutsy Hammer does recoil damage on itself, so oftentimes you'll just, if you already have damage on Crabominable, you'll just attach it, retreat to another fresh Crabominable, and keep swinging. So this is not kind of absent healing. You just retreat and hit with something else. Oftentimes against Golisopod, this is what you'll attach to Crabominable. They'll first impression you for 120, you attach a Floatstone, you retreat, and then you hit with another Crabominable. So this is actually the tool to go to for Golisopod.
Cool.
We do have 3 Brooklet Hill. This is a great stadium. It allows you to get out your Crabrawlers, your Sudowoodo. This is what makes me comfortable not playing Bridget in the deck. Once we get to our supporters, it's one notable absence that might be a little controversial, but this works out just fine, so makes the deck a little consistent.
And you also run it because instead of wasting a Field Blower on a Parallel City or something like that, you can just put your own stadium out and use the effect.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great point. Like, Parallel City is becoming really big in Standard. A lot of Guardialists are now playing 2, so being able to bounce it with this guy is a big deal. Do run the 4 Sycamore, 4N. I used to play a version of this list with just 3 Sycamore. That ended up being not a very good thing. Adding the 4th really improves consistency. I think you really do need the 4/4. Got 4 Guzma. A lot of times people will try to retreat to avoid the 2-hit knockout from Crabominable. So Guzma is necessary to draw that out. Really closes out games. And then finally we do play 2 Acerola. These are our only 2 healing cards. They're very important, and whenever I use them, they were extremely pivotal in the games that I played. I used to run Max Potion, but this is really all I need. Allows you to preserve the tool, allows you to preserve the energy, and attach it to another attacker on the bench. Really good card.
Nice.
Okay, and then we do run 4 Ultra Ball. Other than Brooklet Hill, this is the only other Pokemon search that I have. I would love to have maybe Heavy Ball. I saw one guy top with Great Ball. That was pretty cool. But yeah, this seemed to work fine, and yeah, just 4 Ultra Ball was fine.
Do you prefer running 4 Ultra Balls instead of running like maybe a 2-2 split of Ultra Ball and Nest Ball?
I do. The Ultra Ball helps me get into Lele and also Hoopa, and the Crabominable too. So, but yeah, I would love to have space for more Pokemon Search if you
can make it.
But speaking of Pokemon Search, I mean, these cards are kind of like Pokemon Search. A lot of your Pokemon are getting knocked out, so you can just get them out of the discard pile. These 2 Rescue Stretcher, Super Rod, pretty good stuff.
Okay.
And running 3 Field Blower. This 3rd Field Blower was a last-minute card decision. Genius idea by my friend Brian Alcazar. I mean, I faced so much Drampa that day. Garbotoxin is a big deal. Being able to have an additional out against that, and Parallel City, and Po Town, this card was very impactful. Having a 3 count was just amazing. We do have Escape Rope. This card is also very good. If your Crabominable is damaged, you want to be able to get it out of there so that you don't hurt yourself. And also, I had a turn against, had a battle against Guardy. They started Eevee and Remoraid, and I started double Cabrawler, and I had Escape Rope in hand. So I Escape Rope, bringing their Eevee to the active, or bringing their Eevee to the bench and Remoraid to the active, so they couldn't Magical Ribbon that turn. It was pretty amazing.
Nice.
And then finally rounding out the list, we got 6 basic Fighting Energy and 4 strong. This was a really, really good energy count, especially being able to recycle the basics is super odd. I don't think I'd change that. It's pretty good.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so that was the deck profile right there. Alright guys, so that was the deck profile right there. What was one of your toughest matches of the day?
I had a round 2 match against Decidueye Ninetales with Latios. Crabominable is weak to Psychic, and Latios is a Psychic type Pokemon. Amazingly, I did not lose. Amazingly, and I could have won it had I flipped a few heads on Double Stomp. So we had to settle for a tie on that one. That was an extremely hard match. Another hard match. Golisopod Garbodor in the finals. That was really hard. It's usually a really bad matchup because they can heal off your damage and they can apply so much pressure with Golisopod and Trashlanch, but I don't know what happened. So I'll have to I wish that battle was taped because I had no idea what happened.
Okay, and since not a lot of people are running Crabs, and you're kind of one of the entrepreneurs that decided, hey, Crabs is good, I should pilot Crabs. Are we going to see you play Crabs again at maybe a future League Cup, maybe a Regionals?
I think so. It's going to be one of those decks that I have in my back pocket, ready to pull out when I feel the meta is right. You know, Silvally, Fighting Week. We got Zoroark, Fighting Week. Potentially Raichu could do things down the line, Fighting Week. So things could be looking pretty good for Crabominable. Plus we get Buzzwole. Buzzwole's a nice 190 HP wall that the deck sometimes needs. So I think things are not changing too much for Crabominable. I think it'll continue to be a nice rogue deck in the future.
Nice. And since you're going to continue playing Crabs and you're going to pilot it most likely for future tournaments to come, are there any changes that you would make, any additions or subtractions that you would make to your deck to kind of pilot it a little smoother?
I would. I think Bridget is a really extra source of consistency to get out the basics. You know, sometimes you open these hands and you don't have a lot of Pokemon on the board. A nice Bridget would be good. Looking ahead, I think Buzzwole is a potentially good Pokemon to put in there. He hits the bench just like Hoopa does. He has a lot of HP. He's not weak to grass. So that's cool. Other than that, I think the deck is about as good as it's going to get until we get new cards.
Till we get a new set.
Right.
Cool. Perfect. Well, thank you, Brian Ortiz, for showing us your deck profile of your League Cup winning Crabominable
Yeah,
deck.
it's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's it's one of those hard Pokemon to say. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to share the video if anybody's interested to see the deck profile of the deck that took first place at the League Cup at the Bullpen this weekend. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Awesome.